Nightcap, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez. And one question for you. Did you accept the terms and conditions on your love? I don't know if you did, because is love really unconditional? Can anybody do anything and get all of your love? I vote they cannot, but that's just me. I need a drink in my hand, Caleb, so what do you got for me?
So we're doing a riff on a Negroni, but this is a rum Negroni.
Ooh,
so a little bit of sweetness with a little bit of bitter.
Ooh, that sounds perfect for
Cheers,
this
baby.
show, because love is a little bittersweet, if you will. And I've got a crew on the couch ready to discuss, is love conditional or is it unconditional? Let's get into it.
Yeah, what's up for a nightcap? Chill, you know, kick back.
All right, I kind of told y'all how I feel about unconditional love, but let's hear from my friends. We've got Rudy Taylor joining us for the very first time. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great, excited to talk about this. And we've got Noel Collier back in the building. And we've got Todd Higginbotham, we hadn't seen in a while. And of course, Brandy Adams on time and sitting down, baby.
What's going on?
All right, go ahead and grab your glasses, because this is about to get deep.
Ooh.
How do we feel about unconditional love? Is love unconditional?
Starting with me?
Whoever wants to
All
speak
right.
first, but you
So,
spoke up, so go ahead.
Here's how I feel. I feel like there are only a certain amount of people that can actually get unconditional love from you, right?
Okay.
That's gonna be the person that gave you birth. And like your mother, father, right? Your intermediate family, it's unconditional. I really feel like it should be like that. When it comes down to a relationship, there's gotta be conditions, because you can't love the person that gave you birth the same way as you love the person that you're with. You grow, evolve over time. I just feel like.
So Rudy, I'm gonna agree with you that everybody receives a different kind of love.
Yeah.
But I am gonna say to you that a parent can you up and be
Absolutely.
and you not really have to love them.
Look at Gypsy
Come
Rose.
But we're
Look at Monique and her
That's
son.
in the Bible.
That's
And they
right.
still
But I-
posting like, look, hey, sweet babies, this is what you don't.
Girl,
that's some
don't
stuff
do
you just don't
that.
say.
Yes.
I agree with you up until that, and I like your hat. I just want to tell you that.
I love your hat.
You know, when you
Thank
say
you.
this,
I got on Beacon
because I have
Threads.
friends who cut for me better than my family.
Right.
Not unconditional, maybe, but the love is there when I don't get it.
But we're talking
So
about
we're talking about unconditional.
love. So it, I think
There's
it's
a
all
condition-
relative though, because
Okay.
I think that when you take the vows before God, if you are, a religious person, not everyone is, but I feel like when you take those vows, that it really is for in sickness and in health. For I don't even know the vows, child. I've been married so long, better or worse, or whatever, right? And so to death do us part, right? I think that a condition of that would be like if your man is beating your behind, right? Or your wife is like, because women can do domestic
course.
violence
Yeah.
too.
Of course.
Your woman is wearing you out, right? Then that is something different. But to me, unconditional love means that if I gain 30 pounds, will my man still love me, right? Unconditional love is if all of my hair falls out because I have cancer, will you still love me, right? So, or if I fall off and lose all of my money, will you still love me? So when I say unconditional love, and unconditional love also, when you start having children, your relationship changes, right?
Oof.
And so it changes a lot.
I'm in that season, honey.
Ooh, it
I'm in
changes
that
a
season,
lot,
okay.
sis.
I'm
So, when you start having kids, like your relationship gets different. And so when it gets different, you have to find your way back. That's unconditional love, because you love your partner enough to say, I'm gonna find my way back to you. Even though these kids right here, I'm just saying, hand clap, wisdom.
Okay,
little
so for
wisdom.
you,
Little 15
subjectively
years.
speaking,
Yes.
for Noel,
Yes.
love in a committed relationship and marriage,
yes.
especially under God,
Yes.
is unconditional.
It's unconditional. There should be no conditions on the love for your spouse.
except for when you said in the beginning.
If he whooping your
if they-
ass.
Right. So if
That's a condition right there.
Sounds good.
That's a
All right,
condition
you
right
in my
there.
head tongue. I see you.
So
That's
I
in the
think.
Bible, though.
So what I
Just
think
saying.
is, I completely agree with you, but I think I want to tag on to that. I think there's a very big difference between a loving relationship of equals
Yes.
and an unequal relationship. When you are loving a child, you're loving somebody that isn't on the level of you.
Ooh,
You
yes.
have to put up with more, and might even get to the point of complete unconditional love.
Yes.
That your child may have killed somebody, your child may have done something horrible, but you still want to make sure that try and
still
give
your
them an
child.
opportunity
Yep.
to turn their life back around.
Yes.
In a way that no other person in their life would. In the best case scenario.
should.
Not everyone
But
loves that way, but I think
Yeah.
of an equal footing relationship, they are, you can call it whatever you want,
Okay.
but there are standards that a person needs to be held up to.
There are
and you
standards.
said yourself, even in the Bible, God has standards
He does.
for the people that are for his people.
Yes,
If you if you're Jewish, if you're Christian,
Yep.
if you're Muslim,
There are
whatever you are,
standards.
there are standards, and you must live by these standards, or at least attempt to, for what you want.
But a standard is different from a condition, though.
I don't believe so.
Okay, where's the?
So I do think that it's different.
Yeah,
I
it
do
is
think that they're
Yes.
different. But if they aren't living to the standard, is that a condition? Right? Like if
That is. Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
we got her! We got her!
I'm gonna let you ponder. I'm gonna let Noelle gather her thoughts. You stay right there because this conversation continues after the break, honey. Woo! I better have your unconditional attention. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been discussing unconditional love and whether that is possible. We've got my friends Rudy, Noelle, Todd, and Brandy. All right, we had quite a deep conversation before the break.
Yes,
We
we
had
did.
you rethinking some things, Noelle. Okay,
Just a few
Rudy,
things.
just a few things.
But you know, I speak from wisdom, right? So I've been with my husband for 16 years. We met at Texas Southern University. We've been married now so in June will be 14 years. So we hit the ground running, right? And I just feel like the woman that I was, or the person that I was when I was 25, I think when we first started dating, I'm not anymore. I'm 40 years old. So I think that when we talk about conditions and terms and conditions for your relationship, I think that it evolves over time. Because when I was younger, I used to be like, oh, if my man ever cheat on me, I'm leaving him. Now, let's be clear, my man ain't never cheated, okay? I'm gonna put that out there.
I was like, oh,
oh, nah, baby.
we got a real
Ain't none of that.
like
Yeah, Houston will be
she's
shut
spilling
down.
tea.
I'm just saying. But I'm
we
just
done heard
saying.
about, if y'all watched the Beyonce special, we heard about Noelle.
Did.
Okay.
Just saying, bust windows out of cars. But I also feel like now, like I'm 40, right? I just feel like, oh, if you cheat now, I'm gonna get my lick back, and we're gonna stay together. So like, it's so different.
And
Right.
you
Then
said what you said.
I said what I said. You
Yeah.
cheat on me, I'm gonna get my lick back.
I mean, there was something beautiful that you said earlier when you were talking about your vows and always coming back to the commitment that you
Yeah.
set out when you make the marriage. I think that is true. My husband and I have had some very hard conversations as of late, and he described my love to somebody else as endearing. Not endearing, enduring, because
Yes.
we have some hard ass we talked about.
Yes.
And it was like, you know, we could split this up right now.
Right now.
Or we're going to commit to the marriage that we agreed to, right?
Yes.
So it could have been conditional. And I think it still is conditional because
Yeah.
if we had these hard conversations, we choose to stay through it.
There you go.
And you
Yes.
there's my condition.
That's the
Right? It's
condition.
no longer unconditional in my
There are
opinion.
conditions to terms, right? I feel like there are terms to the relationship or to the marriage. But when you choose to love someone, you have to love them without condition, right? Like, why would you love someone with condition?
Not
Oh,
everybody.
I'm
Not
gonna
everybody
love
deserves.
you.
Not everybody.
Well, your partner, your if this is someone that you're gonna spend your life with, I would certainly hope so.
All right, Rudy, you want to dive into that? I mean, you were married previously.
I was married previously.
So were there conditions?
I mean, we had our conditions. I mean, we were open, and we had like our rules and what we were allowed to do and not to do and things like that. I really only had one. I was in the military, so mine was like, hey, if I'm out to sea, we're securing everything. I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything. You know, he had his, but he broke that one condition that I actually had. And he broke that condition, and I was like, all right. I mean, I tried to make it work, but after a while, I was just like,
So that sounds like the terms that were
Yeah,
set,
I just feel
and
like
then they
that's
were
a
broken.
term.
I feel like, honestly, I don't know. Maybe it was. I just feel like for me personally, you can't measure love. You know, you said, oh, it's unconditional or conditional. You know, like you can't measure love. There's no unit of measure for it. So when it comes down to it, it's like, what is conditional and what is unconditional?
Yeah.
And like, you know, you can be feeling unconditional love when you first get married, you know, but then maybe over time that person can make you fall out of love. You know, it's just when you go through that relationship, that's when the true test starts. So, I mean, I really don't think that.
Love is unconditional.
I don't think it's
Romantic
unconditional.
love. All right, Brandy,
romantic
you've been
love.
observing, you've been taking it all in.
Oh, yes.
What you think, Miss
What are
Brandy?
you thinking? Is
Like, what
love
you think?
unconditional, or are there conditions to romantic love?
I believe that we have those unspoken rules,
Okay.
right? If we're together, I expect you not to cheat. I expect you not to entertain. I expect you not to behave in a certain way because we're exclusive, because
I
we're
expect
together.
you to respect me.
I expect you to respect me, and I expect you to expect that I wouldn't do what I expect you not to do,
Absolutely.
right? So what I say is love is unconditional? No.
There are conditions.
There are conditions. We all have those. We may not say it, but like if you're with your husband cheats, you weren't supposed to do that. We're together.
Right.
And now I still love you, but I love you on the condition that you won't cheat again. When you love somebody, you give your heart, you're not talking or entertaining anybody else.
Yep.
It's understood we're together. This is how we should act together or not together, around each other or not around each other, wherever you are. People, you're a representation of me.
Yep.
I'm a representation of you. And that's just what it is.
Don't embarrass me.
Don't embarrass me. Because like you said, I will shut the whole south side of Houston down.
All of it.
Okay.
It's outside.
I will do that.
Outside the room.
You want me to be stupid
So,
right now?
like, we're talking around this kind of the same idea and
We
same
are.
concept. What I would try and say is like, there are outside things that can affect a relationship.
Yes.
And there are things that are within your partner that can affect your relationship.
Yep.
Oh no,
And-
hold up. That sounds deep as hell. We're gonna dive into that. Listen, you better stay right there, stay glued in, because this is unconditional or conditional. I don't know. You stay right there. We'll be right back. I need to know what Todd's talking about. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been talking about unconditional love with my friends Rudy, Noel, Todd, and Brandy. And right before the break, Todd, you were saying that there are factors that can happen outside of the relationship and those within the relationship.
And I think most people feel like even that outside things, your partner losing their job, that's kind of understanding, like, that's kind of icky, breaking up with somebody because they lost their job. It's kind of icky to break up with somebody because of something outside that has affected the relationship.
So
and
like
you know, many
getting
people
cancer,
do, but
having a child,
stuff like that.
losing a job, as you
But
said,
their
these are
love,
external factors.
their intimacy with you is remaining the same. They're giving the same.
To the
But the
relationship.
world around you guys is changing and moving around. And you know, no shame on people who've had difficulty in those types of relationships. But I think it's a lot different when you're talking about, okay, well, I just found out that my partner's been cheating on me for so many months, a full year, whatever, and they've been keeping it secret, and it's not a, oh my God, I am so sorry, this one time I messed up. This is, oh, you're not respecting me as a person. We weren't in the same relationship that I thought we were in.
Right.
And that deserves reevaluation.
Yes.
Correct.
That's very
Correct.
true.
I like that.
I agree.
So it's unconditional to the person you married on wedding day and respected you in that
Yes.
same way, that committed to you, but now they're a different person.
Because
So now,
life.
Because
life.
Like as we get older,
We change.
You get kids.
Yes.
Jobs are up and down.
You have experiences.
You have experiences. Your parents may get older. You might have a parent or a grandparent who has dementia. Now they have to move it. That's a lot of stress on somebody.
Right.
And you change. We don't want to, but you change.
But I feel like in marriages, that's kind of the unspoken thing, right?
Yeah.
We
What
talk
did I
a lot.
say?
Yeah, we talk a lot about marriage is hard work, right? But people don't really say how marriage is hard work, right? But it's those things. It's not the external things, right? That's easier because you can check his or her phone and figure out what's popping,
what,
right?
yeah.
What's what. Or you hire a private eye if you want to. You know, if you got a little bread. I'm just saying, so you can really check and see, but it's are you growing at the same pace, right?
Standard.
Right. So are you here and he's here? Or is he here and you're here? Those are the things, parents passing away, parents getting sick, children being sick, children
Playing
being
both sides.
Yeah, being bad as hell, manipulative, right? Like
that happens.
But these are the things that really test your relationship and test your marriage, and you have to figure out condition-wise, because we're talking about, is it conditional or unconditional? You have to figure out, is your marriage strong enough to stand the test of time? And do you have no conditions on your love? Because if you have no conditions on your love, that's going to make you work to get to the other side, back to the good part.
Okay, so Brandy, starting with you, is love conditional?
Yes.
Todd?
I say yes. But I think it really depends on what you mean by conditions. I think there are very grievous things that you can do in a relationship that just ruin it forever. But I do believe in a love that's willing to overcome major and massive obstacles because of your love for someone. But I think there are certain things that are just beyond the pale.
I was gonna say that.
I was gonna say that.
Just like that. Very eloquent.
Exactly.
Is love unconditional or is it conditional?
My love is unconditional.
She said what she said. All right, husband, you better.
I like that. I like
She
that.
said what she said. You better love her
I
unconditionally.
feel a
as well.
song coming. I should sing for us.
I think love is conditional. I think because love is immeasurable. Nobody, if I was in love with someone, we can't measure that we have the same amount of unconditional love for each other. It's hard to be on the same page. But honestly, I feel like it's conditional, and you don't really find out until.
All right. But cheers. Thank y'all so much for coming on.
Cheers.
All right. I'm about to find out how to make this bitter love from Caleb Scott. You stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. You know what's unconditional is coming behind this bar, baby. Okay, I am here with Caleb Scott, who is a premier rum ambassador. And you're here to do what, baby? Back that glass up! Yes. Okay, I loved to try the bitter love.
Yes.
Because it is a rum Negroni.
Correct.
If I'm keeping it as honest as possible.
Yes.
Negronis are not for me.
Okay.
You gotta teach me.
All right. So we're gonna figure out what it is about the Negroni you don't like.
Okay.
Because it could be the bitter part or it could be the vermouth part. But we're gonna figure out these flavor profiles.
We gonna figure it out. All
Yeah.
right, but you putting me to work?
But first, let's start with 2 dashes of
Okay.
Angostura bitters into that stirring vessel.
Okay. Uno, dos.
We're gonna do 2 dashes of the orange.
Okay. All right, so what do you think? Is
And
love
this is-
unconditional?
I think that it really depends, honestly, because I think that love is unconditional if you have the right type of love. Like I say that the love from my parents is unconditional.
Right.
Because they love me regardless of what I've done. Now, love can change though, and like everyone has been talking about tonight, we don't always keep the same love because things change, we all grow, right? So maybe it is conditional.
Or we grow down.
Or we grow
don't
down.
always grow up. All right,
We
how
always grow
much?
up. All right, we're gonna do 1 ounce.
Havana Club.
1 ounce of the Havana Club,
Okay,
the other
1
side.
ounce.
And this is the añejo, so it's gonna be a little more full-bodied. And we're gonna do 1 ounce of the sweet vermouth of the Nolly Prat.
Sweet vermouth.
Sweet vermouth.
What is
It's a
vermouth?
fortified wine.
Hey, yay,
There
yay!
we go.
She got started. Dirty wine. I love it. Okay, was it just to dilute or did I?
We're just diluting. That's all we're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
And then we're gonna take the strainer, and we're gonna strain straight into that glass.
Okay. Bada bing. And what I will say about this, unlike a Negroni, it is a little sweeter.
It is a little sweeter, but that's because it's got that sugar cane in it. It's got that sugar cane, baby.
Okay, so do I
And
do
then we're
like
gonna
a?
do a little twist and
little
express
twist,
a little bit of that orange onto the top of it. You wipe it around that rim there.
Did I do that right?
Just do it right there. Yep. And put that baby right in.
That does not look good, but okay.
Well, you can. I
All
mean,
right, come on, straw test me,
let's
or
straw test
drink it.
Well, whatever
Whatever
you
you
want
want. Here,
to do. Here.
there's no conditions here.
See, I love that.
She did it.
See, I
she
love
did
that.
it. She did it.
I
Ain't no-
love that.
Not y'all pulling up wanting
refills.
refills. Okay, hold up. The condition
so
for me to be
good.
behind the bar was I didn't have to. So I'm just kidding. All right. Cheers to y'all. We'll see you guys next time. I got work to do and we got a bar to fix. We've got every episode of The Nightcap, and we can go for hours. Download the Fox Local app on any of the following smart TV platforms and get in on the fun.